this is Dee. Thanks for joining me on my channel, Supply and Demands. And like I've said before in my intro video, I'm an eBay seller of mainly shoes and clothes. And I've been doing it for about 7 months now, and I'm going to be posting videos so you can follow along with me on my journey and how it's going. I'm a new eBay seller. It's been going really well and I love it. So I will be posting videos hopefully weekly, maybe every 2 weeks, so you can follow along with me on where I am on my journey and maybe where you are. So I'm going to start off by covering what I did throughout this last week, and I'm going to start off with what I bought, and not everything, but just to give you some ideas of kind of things I pick up and where I pick them up. And then I'm going to go ahead and go over some items that I sold in this last week. So I'm going to start off with what I did on the weekend. I went yard sailing. Now let me say about yard sailing that sometimes, honestly, I don't want to do it. Sometimes it's Saturday morning and I'm being lazy and I'm like, oh, it's 7. So most of these sales start at 7, maybe 8, and that's pretty much as late as I'll go. And sometimes when I go out there, it's a waste of my time. Well, I shouldn't say a waste of my time, but I do come home sometimes empty-handed. And then sometimes I don't. And it really reassures me that I should still be getting out there. You cannot beat the prices that you'll buy items for, $1 to $2 max. I think I've never spent more than $5 on something. That's kind of my limit. So what I did last weekend is I went yard sailing again. I only found actually 2 items, but I was happy with the 2 items I bought. One is I was yard sailing and I went to this one place and they had a bunch of kids things, and I saw a bag full of native, those rubbery little kid shoes, similar to Crocs, and a whole bag full of them. So I asked her if she wanted how much for the bag, and I bought it for $5. So it ended up being, I kind of went through it quickly, and I thought maybe 5 pairs. It ended up being 8 pairs of actually 7 pairs of native shoes and a pair of Crocs. And they're all different sizes. You can kind of tell that she had a child that she kind of just grew through the stages. So I think I'm actually really happy with that. I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna sell it. I might bulk item it and just try to sell them all instead of piecing it individually. So we'll see. This is what it came in. It's all filled with native shoes, and it was kind of a cool thing. So I was kind of proud of myself with that. And then I also had another one. I found these Sanita. They're very similar to Dansko professional clogs. Nurses wear them, and people just wear them because they're super comfortable. And I found those brand new in a box she gave them to me for $3. So super psyched about that one. And I just posted that one yesterday. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you guys posted. So yeah, don't give up on yard sales. Sometimes I get out there and I find a lot of things, and sometimes I get out there and I'll come home empty-handed. Just don't give up on it, because you can't, like I said before, you can't beat the prices that you're gonna get them for, and the margin of profit is totally worth it. Going on to the next thing is I do thrifting. I usually get out there Mondays for sure. And sometimes if for some reason something comes up, I've got to have an appointment or anything like that, and I'm not able to get out there, I'm bummed out, but I'll definitely get out there Tuesday mornings. Remember, guys, that people get rid of their stuff on the weekends, take them to thrift stores, and so by Monday morning, they're really getting that stuff out in the thrift stores. So try to get out there, grab that stuff right when it comes out. It's definitely worth it. So yeah, I got out on Monday and I went to, I have a routine, so I usually go to certain thrift stores that are definitely good ones for me. So I do have a veterans thrift store I go to. Try to find those. Those are great because they're a little bit different than Goodwills, because Goodwills usually are donated items from that community that surrounds that Goodwill. But veterans thrift stores or Salvation Armies, things like that, they actually get donations from stores, and they'll do truck pickups from surrounding cities. So you'll get a variety of items that are really worth it. So I wanted to show you just a couple of items that I got. I tend to kind of gravitate toward vintage things. I don't know. I just know maybe that you're not going to find that stuff in stores anymore. So it's worth it to, if you see something that looks vintage, by all means look it up before you buy it. I made the mistake when I first started. I would just see something and I was like, oh, this looks awesome, I would buy it. And then when I got home, I was like, oh shoot, I'm only gonna make like $5 from it, which is fine. But if you want to have a larger profit, a margin of profit, you might wanna look up, or I actually recommend looking up every item until you get familiar with things that for sure you know are gonna sell really well. So one of them that I found is Benetton. I'm an 80s girl, so I definitely know that Benetton was a big deal when let me see, there we go. And it's wool, when I was a kid. So definitely I will sell this. I bought it for $1.64. This is at the Veterans store, and it's just, you get really good deals there. What can I say? The other one I bought was a boys polo, Ralph Lauren polo jacket. It's really nice, lined. It's awesome. And I bought this for $2.75. It still sells really well, especially if you find vintage Ralph Lauren. I do have some good pieces on my eBay store. Kind of scroll through my store, you'll see that I have some Ralph Lauren vintage pieces. Never thought that I would do something like that, but like I said, when you're out there, you start learning and educating yourself about items that, I should say, labels and designers that really still hold up their value, and Ralph Lauren does. So mind you, do not buy polo shirts that just have the little logo here. That doesn't really sell for anything, but you will learn over time that when you see a certain Ralph Lauren piece, Lauren by Ralph Lauren, those are great. Those were definitely more 80s, 90s. If you find Ralph Lauren Denim and Supply, that still label is out, but it's more of a collector's piece. Those sell for a lot, and so yeah, so you'll do really well with that, and I've done really well with it. People do appreciate that brand, and they look for it. So keep that in mind. I found a Cabela's, and I've never bought a Cabela's before, sweatshirt or anything like that. And so the prices do vary, but I went ahead and got it only because it was only $4, and I think with the next season coming up, with fall coming up, I think this will definitely sell. So it's a nice men's Cabela shirt, hunting, but I like how it has in front. It's super clean. There's no stains or anything on it, so I got it. It was $4. So I definitely am gonna make a profit. I just don't know how much. We'll see. So that's that with the clothes. I do sell clothes. I just am very particular about the clothes I sell, because I learned from the beginning that I would post a lot of clothes out there, and so I wouldn't make as much, or it doesn't turn as quickly as shoes do. So I always still gravitate towards shoes, and again, I'm learning a lot about shoes. I've made some mistakes on certain things, but I'm still finding that there are some brands out there that hold value, or definitely just sell. You may not sell it for as much as other items, but they're gonna sell. So the number one thing that I always get when I see it, if it's in good condition, are Keens. Keens are, it doesn't matter if it's women's, men's, kids, these always sell. People just need them. They're made super sturdy. I mean, a truck could run over these and they'd still look like this. So just clean them up. They're really easy to clean. You don't have to be real careful about cleaning them, scrubbing them around, rinsing them out, and then letting them dry. Sorry, I'm moving the camera around. These will sell. So I got these for $1.63. So definitely I'll sell these probably for $20.99, something like that. I usually post that price. I got some UGG slippers for $5, a little bit more than I would spend, but they're in really good condition. And like I said, I try to think a season ahead if possible. So I'm gonna try to get these out. Mephisto, I love this brand, and I've always seen them in sandals. You'll always see these in sandals, but I've never seen these in like a women's little ankle hiking boot, which is cool. And I got these for, I don't have the tag, but I got this for a really good price. I don't remember what it was, like $2, some ridiculous amount. So all it needs is laces. I'm not sure if I'm gonna buy laces or if I'm just gonna sell them like this. So me personally, in my store, I try to keep things or try to sell items that are really neat and clean and that people don't really have to even do anything with, but just put them on. So I probably am gonna buy laces for that. Let's see here. I got some cool women's UGG boots. These are awesome. These are from my local Goodwill store. They came out right on Monday morning when I was running there, and they came out in the cart. Got them. So not sure how much they're gonna sell for. UGG kind of is losing its value, and you can't sell them as much as you used to, but I think this is a good winter basic boot. I got these for $10, and it's a little bit more than I'll spend, but I know I'm gonna sell these and make some money off of that. That's for sure. So again, try to look up items before you buy them if you're kind of on the fence about it. I bought these Clarks. These are, I don't know, they're just in the best condition ever. And they're navy blue women's. They're kind of like a wallaby style suede shoe. I got these for, I think, $4.99. And they look practically brand new. I mean, there's somewhere on the bottom, but I always look here and mess with the sole, and you know, obviously it's super clean. So those will sell. I think I saw these selling for like $49.99, something like that. These I found on Monday also, and these are Borns. You can see there. I seriously think they're brand new. Like, I was looking at them for the longest time thinking, okay, what's wrong with these boots? But they're brand new. The inside is, there's no wear at all. I don't think anyone ever wore these. They're men's 10.5, and I got them for $7.99 and snagged those up right away from the cart that came from the back. So these definitely just came, were just recently donated last weekend. 10.5, my husband wears a 10.5, so he actually took these from me. So I'm kind of bummed out about it. I was like, you better wear these. But anyway, he says he's going to with the fall coming up and the winter coming up. So he says he's gonna wear them. Otherwise, I told him if you don't, I'm gonna sell them. Crocs. Crocs, I don't buy Crocs. Regular Crocs, they just don't sell for anything. You know, they're not really high, they're not high quality, but they're just popular for mainly kids. I think that's where most people wear them, for the little kids. But I found these and I got them because they're really cool. They're so different. My son saw them and he's like, Mom, those are cool. So camo, of course, cool. And then the top is leather, and they call them the Crocs all-terrain. I think they look like duck shoes, but they could be used for that too. But anyway, there's nothing wrong with them. Great condition, and I got those for $4. So we'll see how those sell. They may not sell for very much, but they're definitely gonna sell because it's an item you don't see often. So that's why I got that. So I think that's just a quick rundown of things. I did get some other things, but those were kind of the highlights. Oh wait, I have one more. So I saw these are DKNY. They're like the heel sneakers, and I got these and I was on the fence about them. Super cute, right? And it's red inside. Yeah, it's got like a fluorescent orange red, something like that. The one thing is they're in great condition, Maybe just the soles need to be, the rubber sole part needs to be cleaned up, the toe part. And I usually wash laces. That's just me. A lot of people don't spend time with that kind of stuff, but I do. Like I said, when someone gets their item shipped to them, they open the package, I like to kind of think that that person could wear it like right then. So that's just my thing. I do sell them for a little bit more because that's how they're gonna look and that's how I'm gonna take my pictures. So I definitely am gonna have to clean these up a little bit more before I sell them, but they're super cute. I looked them, they're $7.99. I looked them up before I bought them because I wasn't sure about this, but this happens to be more of a vintage piece, and people are selling them for probably like $60. So I'm going to go ahead and, so that's why I went and got them. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted on that, okay? But cute, really cute. Okay, so what I sold this last week is, I will say that right now it tends to be a little bit slower, but in the 7 months that I've been selling, this is my biggest month. So I have been actually increasing my sales every month. I keep track on a spreadsheet that my husband set up for me. But I'm finding right now, probably because people are just busy with vacations and things like that, kids are out of school, that I'm selling more when it gets closer to the weekend. So that's okay. I'm okay with that. So the first thing I sold 8 things in this week. Some of you might say, oh, that's kind of slow, or that's something, it's a waste of my time, I wouldn't do that. But you have to remember is what you're selling, what items you're selling, and the price that you're selling them for. So keep that in mind. And like I said before, it's my journey that I'm still learning, and I'm definitely not at the scale that I want to be yet. Like I said, I want to be probably 400 to 500 in my store, my inventory, and I'm not there yet. I'm only like 150, 160. So, but I can see that I'm progressing, and that is super encouraging to me. And so keep that in mind. Don't give up. Just keep hustling and working really hard. Nothing comes easy. You have to work for it. So the first item I sold was a Billabong Southwestern women's jacket. I've had it since I kind of started January. I bought it, I think, around then. And I just sold it in July. So who knows? Don't think that you're not going to sell winter things in the summertime or summer things in the winter time. So this one I've had for a while, but I bought it for $3 and I sold it for $37. So I hope that person really likes it. It's super cute. The second item I sold was by Joseph Sabel, I don't know how to say that, but I've actually seen these shoes before, and I know that they sell for a lot, and I bought them for $4.99. They were in really good condition. Like I said, I do try to buy things that are in good condition, that just need a little cleaning up. And so I sold, like I said, I bought them for $4.99 and I sold them for $44.99. They actually sold the same day that I listed them. And so you'll find that sometimes you'll say like, oh man, maybe I should have put the price higher than I did because it sold so quickly, but that's okay. It's a profit. I mean, I bought them for $4.99 and I sold them for $44.99. So awesome, I'm happy with that. The other thing I sold was, like I was telling you about the vintage things I bought in January. It's a Lauren by Ralph Lauren barn jacket. It's a women's barn jacket, and the print is very much when in the 80s when the Laura Ashley, the floral prints were out, that barn look, that country living look. So it's super cute, and I knew when I got it that it was a classic vintage piece, and I knew eventually I would sell it. So I bought it for $4.99 again, and I sold it for $41.99. I think I went down a little bit in price. I think I had originally listed it for $49.99, so I went down a little bit, but it sold. The next thing I sold was the Salty Crew. You see that, I think Tilly's That's the fishing brand, and then they're men's shorts. They were brand new with tags, and so I knew eventually they would sell. I bought it for $3.99 and I sold them for $33. The other one is a Clark's outdoor hiking shoe. It was in great condition. It looked practically brand new. So I knew someone out there would want them. I bought them for $6.50 and I sold them for $41.99. The other that I sold was a vintage Nike bowling shoe. Okay, when I saw these, well, let me say a couple things about them. As I've been selling in these months, I never knew that there was fans or people out there that really love bowling shoes. I don't know if they bowl. I don't know if they wear them just out because they're super cute shoes and they look good. They're more of a trendy look for someone, but they sell, and it doesn't matter the brand, they just sell. It doesn't even matter if it says rental on the side. People like that. I think even they like that more. So I've sold tons of kids ones that have the Velcro enclosure or the lace up, and I've sold men's suede ones, I've sold women's, and this one is actually a women's Nike bowling shoe. But when I saw it, I saw that it was a really cool, it was different because it was in a baby blue and it just looks throwback. It totally looks retro. So I looked it up then because they wanted it for $9.99. I was like, ugh, that's kind of a lot. I wouldn't really spend that much for a bowling shoe, but the comps were really good. So I got it. And I would say probably within 2 weeks, I bought it for $9.99 and I sold it for $59.99. They looked practically brand new too, not to mention that they were an 80s vintage piece. So I hope that person really likes it. I'm excited about those. So the next one I bought was, it's called The Teenaged. That's the name of the brand, the Teenaged. And it's fun to kind of look up items and see where it comes from if you've never heard of it. And this is the designer from LA. Well, he's from New York, but he designs in LA. And he does have a following. He's more of a boutique kind of designer. And so his piece is, it was just a cap. But let me say this about caps or hats. Always, when you go to a thrift store, always look in the cap/hat bins because you'll find some really cool pieces. I never knew that people would be interested in that kind of stuff, but I do. When you buy at a thrift store, you're gonna buy it for probably $1 to maybe $3 for a cap, and then you can sell it for, I don't think I've sold anything less than $21.99 probably for a cap, and it doesn't matter if it's used or not. I've sold In-N-Out caps. I've sold Panda Express caps. I've actually sold 3 of those, and I don't know why, but people buy them. And so now when I see those, I'm like, oh my gosh, snag those. So when you check out caps, just if they have a good quality feel and you've never heard of the brand, there's tons of brands out there. I don't even know a lot of them, and I'm learning, but I look them up and you'll see the comps and you'll see what they're selling for and get them if they're good. So this one was called The Teenaged. Never heard of it. Like I said, it's super small, but the quality was super good, and it was more of an engineer's like retro cap, World War II style, and I got it and it sold right away. I bought it for $2.46 and I sold it for $29.99, and it's in great condition. Like I said, I don't buy caps that are dirty or that need a lot of work. I just don't want to do that. That's not the kind of seller I want to be. So the last one is Le Coq Sportif. Le Coq Sportif. So yes, it's a French brand. It was around in the 80s, really trendy for some of you who remember. And so when you find it's still around, but when you find, it's kind of like Benetton, when you find that brand, if it looks vintage, look it up. And some people just want that kind of stuff. So I found a smaller duffel bag that It was really cute. The colors were awesome, and so I got it, and I bought it for $3.99 and I sold it for $29.99. It wasn't a big, huge profit, but I do try to have easier stuff, lower price items to sell, and then I do have items that are higher priced. So I like to have that variety. So it's really up to you on, you know, the prices the items you want to sell and for how much. So if I wanted to break it down for this week, those items that I bought averaged about $40 for the cost of those goods, but my gross was $310. So that's just showing you in a week a little snippet of what you can do, and it's just for someone like me who only has 150 to 60 items in their inventory. So just imagine what can happen if you grow that. So that's it. I just wanted to give you a quick update on how my week's going. I hope you guys are having a great week, and the weekend's coming up, and I hope to post a video soon. You guys have a great day.